We are not a hate group. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Welcome to another edition of Precept Upon Precept, the late show on Thursday. We are your hosts. My name's Captain Shem.
Captain Matt.
Officer Micah.
Officer Thomas.
Like we always do, we're going to start, actually pull up the, let's look at the Booster Club. Yeah, I want to plug the Booster Club. So we want to give a shout out to the Booster Club. We cannot say it enough. We just get back from another major mission, which I'm sure that the bishop and the bishops will go over, Lord's will, this Sabbath and share their great journey and their touching down to new parts of the earth. So without the Booster Club and the faithful men and women, a lot of these people in the Booster Club are people that are senior citizens, are over 50 years old, who are reaching into their pockets, reaching in with their bank accounts with faith because they know that IUIC is going to do things that we say we're going to do. So we thank you so much. We're going to keep talking about it. Keep, as the Most High moves your heart, sending in, donating, because the work will continue year-round, not just for Passover, year-round. So with that, we're going to go straight to Officer Micah and the Watchman Report. Take it away.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Good evening. All right, let's get into it. There's a lot going on in the world. Some of you may not be old enough to remember. Eric and Lyle Mendez are now eligible for parole after judge resentences them. They're the two that shot and killed their mother and their father with some shotguns. All right, so very tragic. All right, next article. As nuclear power makes a comeback, South Korea emerges a winner. So guess what? They still going with they nukes. All right. It's a pretty good article. Only take about 3 minutes to read that. How real is the risk of nuclear war between India and Pakistan? Read this article. You'll find out. All right. Next article. All right. This is going to hit a lot of not just people who own the system, but people who are benefiting from it, including those that are renting. Trump proposed cutting $33 billion in HUD funding, including Section 8. So he pretty much, if you got 2 hands, 2 feet, and you're able-bodied, you can get out and get a job. He's giving you 2 years. Go back and read this. Dozens of white South Africans arrive in U.S. under Trump refugee plan. They'll probably get them to Section 8 that we just talked about. He was cutting. All right, next article. Accused of making starvation a bargaining chip, Israel launches another wave of strikes on Gaza. They are not letting up. They are still bombing the Gaza Strip. Israeli intensifies Gaza bombardments, killing 80 people as Trump visits Gulf, and they will never be held accountable for it until Christ's return. Last article. U.S. issues sanctions to hit Iranian efforts to build ballistic missiles. So now they are sanctioning Iran. And this concludes the Watchman Report.
Hey, Shalom. Welcome back to Precept Upon Precept. We thank you for you dedicated viewers that stay up late with us, and we know it's very late in the East Coast where most of our listeners are. Hey, take a look at the thumbnail real quick, because what's going on this week, y'all, and Officer Thomas, I don't know if you could, I'm having trouble seeing from this angle.
So we got Ishmael's sons, peaceable princes or patient plotters. So we got both sons, one son on the left side, the other son on the right side. Peaceable Princes.
Right, and this is the thing. You gotta understand what's going on right now. Right now, by the way, shout out, we're at episode 163. So we're years in. So we appreciate y'all supporting us and help us to get to 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. So when you read in the scriptures, you've got Ishmael, the son of Ishmael, who was one of Abraham's children, his sons, had 12 princes, okay? And they became rulers of lands known as today the Middle East. Long story short, so Ishmael's sons, right now, as you see them in the Middle East, welcoming Donald Trump, the great white hope, the man with the plan. Meanwhile, in Gaza, you see thousands, and today, people died today in Gaza. So what you're going to find is as the times go by, you're going to see, is Ishmael, are they going to appease the white man and do what he says, or are they waiting and planning to come together to go against this man? So tonight, let's start first with, we're going to go into his grand tour. He went to Saudi Arabia. He went to Qatar. He visited a military base. I can't remember where that was at. He went to the United Arab Emirates, and he ended up in Abu Dhabi. I can't pronounce
Abu
that.
Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi, yes. So this is heavy. We're going to take a look at his first grand entrance to Saudi. Now, keep in mind, these are Arabs on them horses. And some of them Arabs is carrying the American flag. These are Arabs. They are the sons and brothers of the Palestinians. Do me a favor. Get me Genesis. I don't remember. It's 37 or 38. One of them, when it goes into the 12 princes of Ishmael with Hagar, because we have to. And then do me a favor. Get me a map of the Middle East. I asked, I think yesterday, what I needed to make it easy for y'all. All right. I don't want.
1720.
Is it that? Damn.
Yes, sir.
Let's say 37. Okay. So, before we read the scripture, if we look at the yellow country in the middle, that's Saudi Arabia. Look at the size of Saudi Arabia, okay? That is where Donald Trump flew in first. Now, scroll back out just a little bit. Okay, that's perfect. That's called the Arabian Peninsula. You got Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman. Now, zoom back in. I want to look right next to Oman, and I want to look at that little green thumb that sticks up. That is United Arab Emirates. Okay, that is Qatar. The green, can you blow it up a little bit more? So that's Qatar. And it's also amazing to me that when Arabs see this map, do they agree with this map, or is this what we're being fed from Esau? Because why would you, if I'm Saudi Arabia, right? Why would I allow another country, which is on my peninsula, to have its own? Why would you do that? Mm-hmm. That's like them taking Florida from us, or taking parts of the U.S. like Rhode Island or Long Island off the coast so far, Rhode Island and Connecticut, right? Qatar, United Arab Emirates, and let's see, Abu Dhabi. That's going to be right there. See that plane? There you go. And you got Oman. Now, the one of the most we talked about before. So it's a review for I know this right. Okay, fine. If you see where it says the Strait of Hormuz, that is a very, very important waterway. And it goes into the Gulf of Oman. Now blow back out real quick. Now I want you to go down to Yemen. Here's a question for you. Why is not Esau beefing with Oman? Why don't you have a problem with, why Yemen? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because Yemen, right there, look at that strait. Blow it up. I want to see the strait. Meaning the waterway that's real narrow.
By Djibouti.
Yes. So the two most important straits are that one there, and I don't remember the name of it. Oh, you don't? Okay. Do me a favor. Type in Yemeni Strait, because
it had a weird name.
So leave it on the blown up map. We're not going to go back real quick. Forget it, Akim, don't worry about it. I just wanted to show you that the Persian Gulf Strait that we just showed you, and then the strait between Yemen, Ethiopia, and what Captain Matthew just mentioned. Those two straits are extremely important for transportation of commodities. And that one is the one that Israel is most concerned about. Okay, that's why they're destroying and killing the people in Gaza so they can reroute the alternative to the Suez Canal. Anyways, so that's a little geography. Say again? Okay, read the name. I don't know the name of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bab al-Mandab.
Okay. Remember those two waterways are very important. All right, so we got that.
There you go. Bab al-Mandab.
Okay. That's the strait? All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So, and do me a favor. Can you type in, we've done this before, type in what is the shortest distance of the Bab el-Mandeb? Because because that island of Purim is, it breaks up that. I want the distance on that, please. Y'all look at the bottom right hand corner where the little red box is.
Not that far.
Look how small that is. No, Akim, it's not your fault. This is good. This is good. The shortest distance across the Bab el-Mandeb Strait is approximately 18 miles. That is very, very narrow when it comes to a sea lane. It's also very easy to defend and attack. Mm-hmm. So keep all of that in mind. And why does Esau not want to fight Oman? Why is the beef with Yemen? It's because of that. All right, now, let's take a step back. Remember all this? Now we're going to read Genesis chapter 17. And I'm going a little bit a long way real quick.
The book of Genesis, chapter 17 and verse 20.
Now scroll back up on the map so we can see everything together. Perfect. That's excellent. Read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
And as for Ishmael, I have heard.
So real
thee.
quick, put up the thumbnail again and hold that. Ishmael's sons, are they peaceable princes or patient plotters? Now, let's go back to the map. Thank you so much. Let's look at the countries. Egypt is Arabs for the most part, northern Egypt. Jordan is Arabs. Palestine, which is part of Israel, right? The Gaza Strip and the West Bank, Arabs. Lebanon, Arabs. Much of Syria, Arabs. Much of Iraq, Arabs. The Kuwait, Arabs. Oman, Arabs. Yemen, Arabs. United Arab Emirates, Arabs. Qatar, Arabs. And there's another country. Go to the country near Iraq, which this is another doggone amazing Edomite. Kuwait, that's right. Yep. And then there's also, not all Iran, but there are parts of Iran that have the sons of Ishmael. So keep that in mind as we now go and we set the plot up. Donald Trump, the leader of the so-called free world, the force behind the 5,000-pound bombs hitting Gaza and responsible for 53,000 or more people dying and many, many more maimed, is now entering a zone of the sons of Ishmael. I'm going to show you how much the white man got power. But again, you have to say to yourself, if I'm a Saudi Arabian, in the second part of the show, you're going to, and I'm watching all my brothers get slaughtered, how do I move? And this is why you really, I'm showing you. Watch. This is deeper than what you think, than what we see by the eyes. Let it play. I'm going to be quiet. So, real quick, and please, brothers, I was long-winded for the first 5 minutes. What I see right now is them keeping their tradition with their head garbs. They're on a certain breed of horses, right? And I see them carrying American flags. Mm-hmm. So me personally, if I'm an Arab, right, and I'm watching this, I'm looking at them Arabs like these motherfuckers, these dudes is allowing Trump to come in and they welcome him and doing all this. That's the first thought of mine. Then part of me is like, is it all just a plan? And are they all working together in one mind behind the scenes and just planning everything? And it's a chat. That's why part of me thinks that. So,
Cap.
make some comments as we go through, please.
I think get Jeremiah 51.
Bring it out.
51 and 14. I think this is me because, the Bible said that Ishmael will be a wild man, and every man's hand is going to be against him. He's going to be against every man. I really don't see them genuinely, unless that's a puppet, going forward with their ties to the great Satan. I don't see that, because for years they've been calling America the great Satan. And now when you see that, it's like, oh, man, these dudes is... But this could be happening. Read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 14. The Lord of hosts have sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men, as with caterpillars.
He's going to fill the United States of Babylon with men as with caterpillars. In order for caterpillars to even get inside, they got to be welcomed in. They got to be here. They got to be among... Because, a caterpillar eats a tree from the inside out. It got to be inside the tree in order to begin with. It has to be here. How do they get here? Sometimes it comes through treaties. Sometimes it comes through agreements. Sometimes, and a lot of it, with current day words, it comes through democracy. They invite all of them in. That's why they ride on the horses. They got the American flag. The U.S. lowers their defenses like, hey, these brothers are with us. All right, we can move forward with our plan, and then boom, they get hit out of nowhere.
Cap, to that point, Oman, Yemen. I remember back when I was in serving, they wanted to send me to those spots. Oman has military assets in that country. It's called the American Security Project, if I remember correctly. U.S. already got bases over there. They're not going to let the president of the free world go over there and they ain't got security already established in that country.
Hey, and look, y'all forgot what it was like 2 or 3 years ago where they raised that flag up when they killed that general.
Soleimani.
And they what was their red flags saying? Waging war against America, pretty much. That's what they were saying. So all of it's a plot.
Right, and this is why, and I just think back to is when these Arab nations watch. You don't think they're not ignoring them. Watch the level of they're starving them out. They're denying aid. They're blowing hospitals up. And as they watch it, you got YouTube, Twitter, all these different things. They can see that. It's like, okay, so if I'm an Arab and I react and say Saudi Arabia has the money and they try to go to war, they're going to get obliterated, right? But if I come together and I start to say, okay, let me do this, and y'all stay there. Don't worry about it. We're going to be over here. I believe they all work together. Oh, yeah. And I also believe that the American perception of them is that we meaning the U.S. Esau, because black people have Esau's mind, we think that they all are weak and all divided. And I believe that we're going to see some major deals happen as we go into the show. And just keep your eyes open, because if you watch these Arabs, man, like there's no animosity on their faces. It's like so peaceful around them, and that's the sign of somebody that's got some real discipline. Because if I'm looking at you like you killing my brothers, you killing the Palestinians over there, and I know the Saudi Arabians deep down in their heart they love their Arab brothers, and they know they're from Ishmael too. We was on the streets of New Orleans, and there's an Arab dude that owns a shop on Canal Street. And I talked to him a couple of times. He literally said, yeah, we know we from Ishmael. They know that. They understand that. All right, play on. They all got stabs in their hand. You know how, pause real quick. You know how they say roll out the red carpet? I wonder if there's some meaning behind having a light purple carpet. Everything has meaning. Mm-hmm. Everything has meaning in it. And so now there's a Marine Corps, he's either a lieutenant colonel or he's a one-star general. He is there, get ready to open the door, and then they have their Arab representatives, the Saudi representatives there. All right, so play on. They all stay in a position of attention. Now keep in mind, y'all brothers been over there. It's hot over there.
Yes.
So they stand in a full long dressed looks like alphas, dressed greens, and they got their rags on with full. Look at them in the white uniform. It's probably 100 degrees over there right now.
It's 90 here. It's May. It's probably about 120 degrees over there.
It does have meaning. Okay. Hey, you see that? I'm telling you, man, there's something behind everything that these Arabs do, right? Look at Officer Akim, the head tech guy, looked up, what does it mean to roll out a light purple carpet? Because in America, right, it's roll out the red carpet treatment.
Yep.
Interesting. It just hit me. Let's see what it says. Maybe nothing. What does it mean to roll out a purple cart?
In 2021, Saudi Arabia started using lavender-colored carpets instead of red ones for official events, symbolizing national identity and marketing shift in protocol. This change was part of a broader effort to define unique Saudi Arabian standards for official protocols, including the use of purple in various aspects. This shift in color preference reflects a deliberate choice to establish a distinct visual identity for the kingdom.
All right. We don't want to be like the U.S. That's why I look at it like that, because I never all where you go, Russia, it's always the red carpet. So there's something interesting. So they got there. It looks like that's the sort of, they have a navy, they probably have an army and an air force, and then they have their traditional Saudi garbed, and these are all the Saudi Arabian branches of service. And then they're met by the U.S. Secret Service, and then it was a Marine Corps general there, or lieutenant colonel, probably general. Now, it goes on to the next time step. Now, look, as they go into the palace, like Trump is getting this is his first stop, all right? And he was there for, I want to say, almost a whole day, I believe. Play on. So also what I see is this, that these guys have learned English. Because Trump sure doesn't know no damn Arabian. So not only are they learning the American customs, they know the English language quite fluently, because Trump is had multiple conversations the whole time he was there. And he's being welcomed in the richest Arab country in all of the so-called Middle East.
Most of them, the educated ones, the diplomats, they are sent to England for education.
Right.
Some of them come to America for education. So by the time they're able to handle the politics of their country, they can speak the language of the powers that be. And that's the U.S. The English is a second language for a lot of nations because of the U.S.
So we see Trump walking in, got his hand moved, the Saudis are talking. And if you look at, pause it real quick. Pause it. If you look, all the men that are standing there on the large perimeter of that octagon, you see them standing at, looks like some sort of alert rest with their staffs. And there's meaning behind that. And here's the thing. The other thing is this. I believe there's certain things that these Arabs do that let them know, like, for example, I'm trying to think how I could say this. If I'm an Arab, right, and I want other Arabs to know, hey, listen, I'm going to put a visual up for them to see, yo, we're not with these motherfuckers. We're not with them. This is, you know what I mean? There's certain things like, for example, let's say, for example, that in their culture, if you put your hands behind your back, that means, and a staff out like this could mean we ain't forget about you. It could be certain things that they understand. And I believe that the Saudis, I believe that they have something, there's something more to these folks, man. There's something more to them. Play on. And pause. Also, I looked at this video a couple of times. They have some very dark skin, and some of them might be the Israelites over there, in them lands, because there's a couple of black brothers that was in there, not dark Arabs, black brothers. You could, if you look carefully, like the brother right there. There's one, I believe he may be. Some of them could be Israel. Not the with the red hair. I'm talking about the ones behind him with the black thing on their head. Play on. Oh, go back real quick. I'm going to tell you right now, they cringing. I don't know if y'all caught this, right? There was a woman that walked by, and she had pants on. Watch. Pause right there. You see that in the red? Mm-hmm. She has pants on. And I know that in their culture, they don't allow that. They don't. So there's certain things that when you see they're allowing certain things to transpire. Okay? Play on. Okay. So this is his first grand entrance into Saudi Arabia. Remember, the sons of Ishmael have the same ancient father, the same patriarchal line. All right?
Hey, Cap. When he got out the car, they didn't show what Ishmael did when they walked up to the car. Normally, in Arab culture, you would get a handshake, a bow. Right. Sometimes they'll even kiss your hand to show that level of respect. I don't think that they did any of that when he got out the car. It's just like he got out the car.
Right.
They said their hellos and they walked, and he didn't touch Trump at all. He just walked with him.
That could be something right there. Because you're right. Remember they showed when Modi, the Prime Minister of India, went and met with Putin? Mm-hmm. Man, they was hugging. They was acting like they was bros. They was really, and it shows you that the level of respect that these international leaders have. And it's one of, really, they just are trying to appease and pacify Trump because they know that he has the power of the U.S. military. Now, Trump welcome to Qatar with red Cybertrucks mounted on camels and dancers. Okay, is this the next one? Okay, so now this is actually, I believe, his third stop or his second stop. So he's now going to Qatar, which we showed you before, is this little thumb looking that sticks out of Saudi Arabia, like the bottom. Show Qatar one more time. A lot of people don't even know that Qatar is a separate country.
That was an R&R spot when I was deployed. They send you to Qatar for R&R, and then you go back.
And that may be where the military base is at. Mm-hmm. It's either that or Kuwait. Because
it's
Trump,
both.
It's both, Cap.
It's both.
So he stopped and actually went to a U.S. base while he was there, and he was trying to rally the morale of the troops and all like that. So this is where he's at now, and his second stop. So he probably, I don't know if he flew there or not, but we're going to now. So basically, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. Play. Storytell. They shut the entire highway down. I got a story to tell. One time, it was probably about 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm driving. Who was president? Was it Biden? I think no, I'm sorry. Trump ended in what, 18?
Yes.
So when did Trump leave? Well, he left office in no. Was it 2020? Okay, yes. So it was the first time Trump came. So I-10 is a local major highway that goes below Lake Pontchartrain. For those of you look at a map, it goes east to west through New Orleans. So I'm driving through a place called Metairie, and I'm in my work truck. I'm driving along. All of a sudden, sheriffs and state troopers ran in and started pull. They cleared the highway with us on. They said, pull over, pull over. We all had to clear, and we literally had to stay on the side of the highway. This is I-10 during normal business. Next thing I know, my cell phone, and I noticed earlier it was only doing 4G. My cell phone was down to 3G. I couldn't get a signal. And all of a sudden, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And all of a sudden, it was a certain number of minutes, and then you saw a black car with the American flag. It was Donald Trump, and I think he was coming. Where was he coming? I think he flew out of Bell Chase. I'm not sure. It might have been Louis Armstrong for that one, because I know he did fly into Bell Chase, which is in the West Bank. Long story short, they cleared the entire highway just for Trump to pass, and that's how. And they jammed cell phones. So this right here, you think these highways is always empty? They shut everything down. They shut the city down. They got the horses out, all of that, just for Donald Trump to come through. So if I'm in the second half of the show, if I'm in Palestine, I'm in Gaza, and my whole family just got killed, but they still got cell phones over there, and I'm watching this. I'm watching my brothers, the Arabs. They're not my brothers, but if I was an Arab, and they welcomed the man that provided them all the bombs and the resources to destroy my people that just died. I'm like, damn, okay. So as I'm saying that, I'm like, okay, these Saudis are doing little things to let them know, brother, be calm. We got this. I know what's going on. I can't see it, but I know what's going on. I know they're doing something. I'm telling you, these Arabs don't sleep on them. Okay? Play on. We got the camels.
This show too, it shows that in Isaiah 14 they still hold America in high regard, because in Isaiah 14 they looking at America as a weak nation. Them doing all of this dancing, they going a little harder than Saudi Arabia was. Still shows that America has some sort of power that they still looking at, that they not looking at America as a weak nation right now still.
Facts. That's a fact, man. And like the Captain Matthew and Officer Micah said, because they have military strong arm right there in the Persian Gulf. Yep. They have all that power. They probably got doggone long-range missiles pointed right at certain bases. You go ahead and touch our president, it'll blow your ass up. They probably have all that probably got naval warships staged right in the Persian Gulf and all that.
Yeah, you know they do, Cap, because remember they had that issue with Iran. Yep. And the U.S. warships right there in the Strait of Hormuz. Mm-hmm. So they got them there. They there. Those naval ships with those big top secret weapon guns and stuff like that, they right there. Anything happens, they got enough firepower to put an end to whatever they're trying to start.
Read, real quick, before we get into this one, read Genesis 17, which you had before, and then we're going to read 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 20, let me see, 29, let me see. Oh, gosh. 30, something like that. So read Genesis 17. And then we're going to review, as we watch these different very wealthy, affluent Arabs with their traditions, their royal apparel, their staging of horses and camels and shutting the city down, and all this grandiose welcome for Donald Trump. Remember this. Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he begot.
12 princes shall Ishmael have begot. Now, read on.
And I will make him a great nation.
So they are a nation. even though they're divided by borders, Yemen, Oman, Saudi Arabia, they are one nation. Read on.
But my covenant will I establish with Isaac.
Right, and so it wasn't. Ishmael's not chosen, even though he's from the seed of Abraham. That's why when a dumb, stupid apologetic asks you, "You're all from the seed of Abraham." Well, which one, stupid? There's many seed of Abraham, you dummy. Okay, and then you go and you explain that to them. Read on.
But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year.
Right, and Abraham more children than that. It's not just Isaac, and it's not just Ishmael. Read on.
And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham.
Go to the part where it says, and he shall be a wild man. I think you read that before, but.
The book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 11.
Come on.
And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael.
Remember this, God had his hand on Ishmael the whole time. The angels dealt with Hagar. And with it, why? Because they had to preserve life, because all the prophecies that Ezra spoke about had to come to pass in this day. So the angel of the Lord was dealing directly with Ishmael. And that's why today they open up gas stations. And when I say they, I'm generalizing because it's true. Many Arabs come to this country. When's the last time you seen an Arab work at McDonald's? When's the last time you see an Arab work at Tractor Supply? When have you ever seen an Arab work at the mall? Maybe if his pops own the store. Because they have riches. They have money. It's not just oil. They have resources. Read it again.
And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael.
Right.
Because the Lord have heard thy affliction.
Right. So she heard Hagar's affliction. Don't mean that they're the Israelites and they're chosen, but they have a role to play throughout the Bible. Read on.
And he will be a wild man.
And read it again.
And he will be a wild man.
Will be a wild man. And that's where you see Allah Akbar. Bishop Nathaniel taught a phenomenal class, one we all need to watch again, called The Ishmaelites. It's a Truth Shall Make You Free series. What is it called? Ishmael.
Ishmael in the Arab world.
Ishmael in the Arab world. Y'all all listen. Y'all should go back and watch that. Watch that. Okay, it is a classic. Read on.
And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man.
His hand, Ishmael, will be against every man. Read on.
And every man's hand against him.
And that's why the white man's hands are against him. Read on.
And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
And that's why you'll see, yes, they are in Sydney, Australia. Yes, some of them in England, some of them in New York. They are scattered, right? But the majority, they dwell together with their brothers. And Esau calls it the Middle East. God calls it the East. Esau says, I'll call it the Middle East. Okay? Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Now, we're going to go back to 2 Ezra 15 in a moment. Let's pull this up. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, Akim. I don't want this right now. Because this is a slap in the damn face. If I'm an Arab, that's a slap in the face. Go to, let me go to tonight's content. Y'all brothers did a good job. Pull up, let me see something. Where is the doggone thing? Tonight's content. Let me get, I don't want that. Yes. Yeah, give me, no. Get me number 4. Trump is known, he is known to have done billions and billions of dollars in real estate transactions. He was the host of, what's that? The Fire, You're Fired.
The Shark Tank?
The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Apprentice. Trump is known for making business deals and doing a work as a tycoon, right? So, is this an art? No, it's video, right? Okay. Again, let's go back real quick. So in case we forgot, show the map with the United Arab Emirates. And someone got a little Esau features. They Arabs, though. Don't go twisted.
That's just the light ones. Because they got a lot of dark-skinned Arabs. A lot of them. That's why I was tricked in that Islam stuff, because you see every shade.
Yep.
It's like, oh snap, these dudes darker than me. I'm talking about, they got ones that's black. It's not the same black as us, but they very, very dark. But they Arab, and they got all shades.
So let's go back. Y'all listen, y'all start paying attention, in particular around Iran, Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon, all that area. Pay attention to that. But a lot of the beef is going on right now in the greater Saudi Arabia peninsula there. Show Qatar. I mean, Orange, Arab Emirates. It's right below Iran. Okay, there you go. So we showed you Qatar. Now, again, United Arab Emirates. This is where many of you will see Andrew Tate. He's Israel. His father's black. Andrew Tate is many times he'll be in Dubai. And it shows you Dubai is an extremely, extremely rich city in the United Arab. And also, many of Arab leaders have second residence there. And they do a lot of meeting and planning there. It's not just white folks that go there. A lot of them Arabs go there to strategize and all that. All right? Play.
Trump gets honored as UAE announces 1.4 trillion investment.
ومما يؤكد على ذلك
A testament to this is UAE's plan to invest in the U.S.
مخطط دولة الإمارات للاستثمار في الولايات المتحدة في هذه
In these sectors through UAE's investment bodies
المجالات من خلال المؤسسات الاستثمارية الإماراتية وبقيمة
at a value of 1.4 trillion
4 تريليون دولار في خلال
over the next
10
10 years.
القادمة. We are going to be your
We're
friend.
going. Oh, he agreed.
And we're going to be your partner, and we really appreciate your confidence and an investment. That's your biggest investment that you've ever made, and we really appreciate it. And we're going to treat you very, as you should be, magnificently. And you're a magnificent man, and it's an honor to be with you.
Hey, can I get Psalms 55?
Right. Smooth.
You're a magnificent man.
Yep.
It's great. It's going to be awesome.
You know, he bombing the hell out of Gaza. But
You know what I'm saying?
You're
I know
magnificent.
we're killing the people of Gaza. We got food blockades. We've bombed houses. We've killed more women and children than we have Hamas. But hey, it's great. It's wonderful. It's all going to work out. You're a magnificent man. We're gonna do great things in the future. We love to have you. Love to have you.
You gotta imagine as he's doing that. I'm a poor guy in Oman. I'm in Iraq, and I'm 50 years old, 60 years old, and I remember in Iraq War I, and I got my legs blown off because of what happened. And they're all watching this. Now everybody got smartphones in the world. They got smartphones in sub-Saharan Africa now.
Yep.
You can watch everything, Instagram, Twitter, all that. They're watching all these things happening, and they're like, okay. And this is why there's more than meets the eye to these Arabs. And we're going to read the scripture in a minute. Now, where are we going? I'm sorry.
Still wanted that scripture?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, get that Psalms 55.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
That's how the U.S. talk. That's how Esau talk. They put their arm around you and they make you feel safe. Right. Read.
But war was in his heart.
But they always plotting on how to take you down. That's why the scriptures say never trust your enemy. That's why the Arab world, they don't like Esau. They hate them. They call them the great Satan or the great Shaitan. They call him the devil, period. You really think they're going to make a deal with the devil and not have no backup plan with it? They can't fight him militarily right now because they'll get slaughtered. But they have, I'm telling you, they got plans. Everybody got plans. And we know that because the scriptures say it. All of them are going to join up. They're going to remember their nature, which means they sleep right now.
Yep.
But one day they're going to wake up and realize, hold the hell on, what's going on? Oh, no, they the enemy. We got to get them.
Hey, and we're going to show you that in a minute later on. It's the audacity and the pomp, the arrogancy of Esau is beyond. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go to number 3, but before I go to number 3, this was funny to me but it shows you, man. It's like these Arabs are smarter than they think they are, than we think they are. Get number 5. So they knew Trump was coming, so they built a mobile McDonald's for Trump.
Wow.
I thought it was a joke. Watch what they did for Trump. So they got ductless mini splits in there. They rolled it out. They got a generator, all of that. Watch. Just so they didn't do it for Hibab and them. The Qatar Arabs, they don't want no goddamn McDonald's. Neither does the damn Saudi Arabians. They said, let us show that we understand American culture. Can we show him? I'm telling you, they slick. They smart. Play it.
A mobile McDonald's restaurant was spotted in Riyadh as U.S. President Donald Trump was greeted in the Saudi Arabian capital with a lavish welcome.
I think, yeah.
President Trump was in the Middle East where he delivered remarks at the U.S.-Saudi Investment Forum.
Remember he worked at that McDonald's?
Trump famously loves McDonald's and even worked a McDonald's drive-thru in his 2024 presidential campaign.
He said Kamala wouldn't work at McDonald's. I'm here.
Wow.
So look, I'm just trying to point out, and I believe that there's more than meets the eye with the Arabs, and I believe that they're more united than we may. Because I'm looking at like, yo, how did you not do this and try to fight together? But there's more to it. Now, this is a slap in the face. We're going to go to number 3. So, remember we showed you, put up Qatar again, put up the map, and the green country that is sticks up like a thumb from Saudi Arabia. Remember Qatar. And I think this was his 3rd or 2nd stop. Can you put the mouse on it? Okay. Now, I did tell you yesterday about the maps. I didn't give you a surprise on that. So look, Qatar is in green, right? Circle it with the mouse. Right, remember that? Thank you so much. Now, go back out, please. Now, I want you to circle Israel, which is right next to Jordan, right? Circle Israel. Okay, do me a favor. There's 5 of y'all. Look up what is the distance from Gaza to Qatar. What is the distance between Gaza and Qatar? Now they got the West Bank too, but just let's start with Gaza. Okay, so that's gonna take you 1,700 miles. That's a long. It's gonna take you. I would imagine probably what, a day and a half, 2 days perhaps with a car ride.
31 hours and 56 minutes.
So 31. That's a long drive. So and then it's a flight as well. He mentioned the flight. Now keep that in mind because what Donald Trump is going into the heart of Ishmael's territory where they dwell together according to Genesis 17 and 16 and 17. Now, what Trump read Officer Thomas.
Trump touts Freedom Zone plan for Gaza as ceasefire talks stall in Qatar.
I'm going to show you how Esau is, and he might get away with this. Pull up, what is the current population of Palestinian Arabs in Israel? What is the current population of Palestinian Arabs in Israel? And we'll come back to that. You got some time. You got about a couple minutes. Nehemiah's stressing. He's all right. Read that, please.
Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and Al Uda Air Base, Qatar. President Trump said on Thursday the Gaza Strip should be made into a freedom zone. doubling down on his proposal to displace Palestinians from the territory just as Israel plans a major offensive and intensifies deadly airstrikes, killing more than 150 people in the past day, including dozens of children.
When we come back from break, we're gonna show you all the things that they're doing right now and how it's a stark contrast to what the hell is happening with Trump, who is the leader and the representative of Esau, okay, and how it differs from their actions, okay?
Population size. Approximately 2 million Palestinian citizens of Israel currently reside within the country's borders, representing roughly 21% of Israel's total population.
Do me a favor. What is, I know it's hard. What percentage of 2.3 million is 53,000? Because they've already killed this percentage of the population.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see some. You killed this many people. And now you over in your brother's territory getting welcomed with McDonald's in a purple carpet treatment. So, 53,000 is 2.3% of 2.3 million? Is that right?
Yeah, 53,000.
Okay. So they killed, and by the way, I don't agree. I don't believe it's 53,000. I think they killed a lot more than 53,000. Let's just say that number's right. They've killed almost 2.5% of the Palestinian Arab population. That's just in Gaza. That does not include the people they killed on the West Bank. So let's go back to the article. Keep that in mind. Remember, we got the distance from Gaza all the way over to Qatar. They killed 2.3% of the Arab population that they say, which I think they probably killed well over 100,000. I believe they killed maybe more than that. And they've injured probably hundreds of thousands. I'm talking about injuries where you have maiming and problems the rest of your life. Carry on.
Trump is on the last leg of a trip to the Middle East, a visit that did not include a stop in Israel. He has mainly skirted the issue of the war in Gaza in his public remarks during the trip, but made comments to reporters after a roundtable with business leaders in Qatar. Gaza has been a territory of death and destruction for many years.
Stop. He just said something. And think about how outlandish that statement was. He said, do me a favor, type in when did the war with Gaza start? It was 2023, like November, something like that? October 7th of 2023, right? Or 24? Okay, so this war's been going on for almost a little over a year and a half, okay? About a year and 8 months, roughly, right? A year and 8 months. So now go back to what Trump said. Some of the stuff I'm throwing at you right now. Read that statement again.
Gaza has been a territory of death and destruction for many years.
So the last year and about 8 months, the reason why is because the United States have supplied Israel with 2,500-pound bombs, 5,000 bombs, and are directly responsible, or indirectly through a proxy war, that's what it is, for killing 53,000 people. And then this man makes a statement. I have concepts about Gaza, think are very good. Make it a freedom zone. The point is, he's saying that on the trip to the Middle East in front of the Arabs. That's why, I say to myself, I'm like, damn, they can't be that passive. Now, read 2 Ezra chapter 15. I'm telling you, this is all coordinated. And remember, the angel of the Lord dealt with Ishmael, right? Ishmael has a certain amount of know-how to deal with Esau. Something that black Americans, we don't know. We have no idea how to deal with Esau diplomatically. They're using diplomacy. They're using tactics. Read.
2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 29. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots.
Now remember, Ezra was way after the book of Genesis, right? In Genesis, they called them a nation. So now later on, they became nations, but they're still part of one nation of the 12 princes of Ishmael, right? Now, Ezra's is seeing a prophecy that would take place many hundreds of years after he wrote this, right? So this is much after, thank you, after you read in Genesis 16 and 17. Just keep that in mind historically. Read on.
Well, the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots.
So they shall come out with many chariots. It ain't going to be a chariot like you see the Roman Empire when they have these big wheels with the horse. That's not the chariot they're talking about. Okay, read on.
And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth.
Multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth. Interesting. Read on.
That all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
And if you notice, right, you mentioned something, Cap. You said at night that don't sound right. At night,
It sounds spooky.
right. They have war chants. They have, when they raise their voice up before they do their suicide bond, that shit is like, oh, shoot. That voice is going to come. I don't know if you remember before. I think Micah might have shared it. We had an image of a stadium in Egypt full, when it first started, full of Arabs. And they was singing a song about Palestine, something like that.
Yeah.
And the whole, it was like, you were watching, oh, you got children. Oh, damn. That's the voice that all of them Edomites gonna hear. When they all say enough's enough, and they remember that, they're gonna hear that Ishmaelite voice. Okay? That he has, it's divided now. Read on.
Also, the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood.
Read it again. It says what?
Also,
Read it again.
Also, the
So
Carmanians.
that means that the Arabs are going to rise first. So if I say, hey, Captain Matthews go do this and this, also is Officer Micah. The Arabs are going to lead the way, and the Iranians, who are the Carmanians, they are going to rise up as well. Read it again from the above that.
And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth.
Right, that's talking about the sons of Ishmael. Read on.
That all that which hear them may fear and tremble.
Right, they're going to hear in fear and tremble. So that means when they make that Allah Akbar, that united voice, then, watch the next part, read.
Also, the
read.
The Carmanians.
Pull up a map of Iran. Also, the Carmanians, that there are some Ishmaelites in Iran, but these are the Carmanians historically. The map of the Middle East, please. And we're looking at Iran. Look at the size of Iran, okay? Iran, so all of them Arabs. And also the Carmanians raging with wrath. Why? The Arabs are going to empower these people. And Thomas pointed out in Isaiah 14, it's going to get to a point where they're going to realize, wait a minute, they are weak, brother. And then they're going to say, the Arabs have rose up. Now is the time. Read it again.
Also, the Carmanians, raging in wrath.
They wasn't a little upset. They were super upset. How upset? Read on.
Raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild bulls of the wood.
I'm telling you, I know this. I work with this hunter. And wild boars, like they don't, like y'all got to really understand a wild boar will kill you. And they don't care about, they kill dogs, they'll kill humans. They are fierce. Even when you look at leopards hunting, but they know they got to get them from behind or jump them from the top. Because if they try to go out in front of them, they could kill a leopard. Okay? Read on.
The wild bulls of the wood, and with great power shall they come.
Great power. Wait a minute. How is it? So the Arabs are going to write, Allah Akbar, they're going to come that one terrible voice that they're going to hear. Also, then you have the Carmanians raging with wrath like a wild boar. Wait a minute. So if Iran right now, it's being talked about today and yesterday, they're not even allowed by the white man to have nuclear weapons. So where are they going to get their power from? Read it again.
Also, the Carmanians,
also the Carmanians, read.
Raging in wrath.
Raging in wrath, read.
Shall go forth as the wild bulls of the wood.
Well, they're going to go forth as the wild, what?
boars of the wood.
So read it from the top again. I'm going to see something.
Also the Carmanians,
These are the Iranians. Read on.
raging in wrath,
Mad as hell. Read.
shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood,
Shall go forth as the wild boars of the woods. Watch this. Read on.
and with great power.
And with great power. Stop. Who gave them the power? They ain't got no power right now. Who gave them the power? This is why we've been covering BRICS. We've been covering, showing you Russia and China, and they have an alliance. You got to understand, this is why the Most High allowing all this stuff to go down. And he's giving us clues. Go ahead, Cap.
Hey, Cap, remember, Iran and Saudi Arabia squashed their decades-long beef.
Who proctored that?
Russia, I believe.
China.
It was China.
Yes.
China. It was one of the BRICS nations. China. They prompted Saudi Arabia and Iran to come together, and whatever issues they had over the past few decades, they squashed all of that. So that goes to show you that that's one step closer to when the Arabians start raging, the Iranians are going to jump in.
You got to understand. Read that part about the power, Officer Thomas.
And with great power shall they come.
Iran does not have great power right now. But the alliances that is forming with these BRICS partner nations, Russia, China, and the power that they have to back them, all that, the Most High going to show us all that. Read on.
And join battle with them.
So they're going to join. So that proves, what does that prove? The Arabs was already at battle. Then the they joined them. Read on.
And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
Now, who are the Assyrians? That's talking about the least of the flock, which Jeremiah spoke about. That's talking about the white man in Assyria. White man in Israel, who is the Assyrian. Why? Because he's an extension of Babylon the Great. He's part of the Esau's family. For example, if I say the families of the Ishmaelites, or the families of the Hagarenes, or the Moabites, but also if I take, and I now refer to it as an animal world, if I say a flock, the flock is a family. So if I say the least of the flock, that's the family of Esau. So the Assyrians are an extension. Esau is also, in America is Assyria, but the extension of Assyria, of the flock, of the family, is Israel. Mm-hmm. And this is why we say, like, we gotta see what's really going on. It's an absolute mockery. Let's get on with this. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Read on.
You want scripture, Cap?
Now, forget about that. Let's go back to this, please.
Gaza has been a territory of death and destruction for many years, Trump said. I have concepts for Gaza that I think are very good.
So he allowed them to pull up some images of Gaza, 2025. They turned that place into a friggin' parking lot. Mm-hmm. If you look at some of the pictures, it is absolute. We got to go to break. We got to go to break soon. When we come back from break, okay, we're going to show you the level of horror that Esau is afflicting on Gaza. Let's some of these before we go to break.
So why they getting that, Cal? Who is the freedom zone for? Because if you want to displace the Palestinians, so who is it going to be free for?
It's heavy. And that's the mockery. Trump's plan, just like he says, I want to take Canada. I want Canada to be the 51st state. There'll be a great trade. It'll be great. I'll keep the flag, love the flag. But they want to take the Arabs, who they destroyed in their land, which in 1948, before that, it was mostly all Arabs. And they want to move them. Trump wants to move them to Qatar, 1,700, a 31-hour drive away. Let's really think about that. Why? Do me a favor, pull the map back up, the Persian Gulf. This is why. Because Esau is about money and power. That's all he care about. Because I'm going to tell you right now, pull up, go to Egypt, blow up Egypt real quick. Sinai Peninsula. A little bit bigger. Best you can. Do the best you can. Perfect, right there. Again, who controls the revenue from the Suez Canal that connects the waterway of the Mediterranean Sea through all the Indian Ocean and that eastern part of the world? It is not Israel. The Egyptians have a great amount of power instruction. Notice they don't go attack Egypt no more. Egypt has power, and they have a certain amount of wealth from the Suez Canal. Again, why? Let's think about this. Why are they not genociding out the Arabs on the West Bank? Why are they not destroying the West Bank Palestinians? That's bigger than Gaza. Again, you got to see what it is. If I'm Esau, these damn Arabs got control. How do I fix them? Well, this is what they're going to do. They're going to destroy Gaza, and now if I'm looking at the path of least resistance to get into that Mediterranean Sea, and it might take me 10 years to dig it, right? I can't go up all the way through Israel. I'm going to go right on the border of Egypt, just 100 feet in on my border. And I'm going to go straight up and I got to go through Gaza. That's the last stop. The last 5 miles is through Gaza. That's why they're doing it. And once, I'm telling you right now, just like these bastards blew up the Nord Stream pipeline, you don't think they blew a whole pipeline up that would stop flow to other Edomite countries? You don't think that they would blow up the Suez Canal? That's my prediction. They're going to do that. They're going to dig a doggone hole, a canal right through. It's going to be much longer than the Suez Canal, but look at that. Come up the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, take a right, boom. 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, right up there, directly through Gaza. Now you blow up the Suez Canal, 2 to 3 different points. Now guess what you got? Complete control of that waterway. That's what they're doing. All this is for a reason. And I believe that when they do that, then the Arabs are going to unite. I believe, well, hold up. Because Egypt, all of them dudes over there, they ain't just the ancient Egyptians, the black with Nefertiti in them. That's not them. All of them is Arabs up there. And watch, it's going to be crazy. Anyways, listen, when we come back from break, we got Kingdom Music with Captain Matthew, and then we're going to come back and show you the staunch difference between Trump's trip and the royal treatment and all the business deals and all that, and what's really going on with their brothers of Ishmael in Gaza. All right, so stick around, y'all. Most High in Christ bless. We'll be right back.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Why do you subscribe? IUIC New Orleans, subscribe. Go to our YouTube page. Help us to grow. Comment, like, share. What's going on? Make it happen.
Love, even if you don't support it, you can't ignore it. Even if you had an army on your side, you can't destroy it. We not ready for the smoke, we looking for it. When we hit the streets, we'll be so deep the door, you can't ignore it. Even if you don't support it, you can't ignore it. Even if you had an army on your side, you can't destroy it. We not ready for the smoke, we looking for it.
It's coming. They're gonna outlaw this Bible. This Bible is power.
Israel, we outside looking for 12 tribes. Don't you sleep this time. We've been marching all this time. Keep the laws on your mind. Southern Kingdom on the rise.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
Can't you see the signs? The Messiah is coming.
We in San Antonio, they celebrate this every year. It's a celebration of the battle at the Alamo and then the battle of San Jacinto. It is really what they call Anglo-Caucasian celebration of the Mexicans, how they basically robbed Mexico from the Mexicans.
They are disconnected from the Israelite culture. They've created their own culture of fiesta, okay? We're here to teach them that, hey, there's another way. There's another way, and that way is the Bible.
Our people come out here in record numbers, but what? We use this opportunity to what? To show our people unity, show our people strength, show our people hope. The Bible calls them the Northern Kingdom of Israel.
What I'm looking forward to is the increase of more Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom unity here in San Antonio.
I think it put us in a new direction of how we should be following Christ and obeying the commandments.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's the King. Let's go. 12 up. Sit it down. 12 up. Sit down.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Cap Matt here once again with Kingdom Music. Man, look, the Tents of Judah album is like, that's the staple right now. All right. So I wanted to play this song because it's just a fire song. We got Deke in the Boots. Not Deke in the Booth. Deke in the Boots. All right. Coming with it in this next song. Bring it. Bring it.
Howdy, sir.
Hey, young man, how you doing today? Hey, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. You be safe, man.
Hey, man, what is it? Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, did you hit shit up? This headline, man, Babylon is falling, man.
Well, he extended his reach, and no man regarded how long you expect him to try. You live your life your own way, like there's no tomorrow. You cast all the Lord's laws aside. Well, I don't feel bad for you. The prophets came and warned you. You ain't listen, you ignored them. Now you mock when your fear come and quit your crying now. You chose when you were chosen, now you're dying now. You made all your decisions. The moon turned to blood, the dead rose from the mud. The Lord has opened the sky. Now you're too late. You ran out of time. It's all because you're stuck in your pride. He gave you truth and grace. If only you tried, and now you're too late. You ran out of time, out of time.
Breaking news, this just in. Babylon has fallen. The golden city has ceased.
I went down that road. I did what he told me. Now I receive my prize. But as for you, you'll be rewarded. Prepare now, it's time to die. And he said unto me, behold, I come quickly, my reward's with me, and by his words it shall be. 'Cause you did not believe, there will be gnashing of teeth. 2/3 gonna be deceased, they will die.
Hey, sir, if I can get a drop of water, just a drop of water, I got $5. Look. I got $5.
No, sir, I don't have no water to sell. I don't have no water to sell here.
Just $5.
This is living water, you damn demon.
The moon turned to blood, the dead rose from the mud. The Lord has opened the sky. Now you're too late. You ran out of time. It's all because you're stuck in your pride. He gave you truth and grace. If only you tried, and now you're too late. You ran out of time. Now you're too late. and grace. If only you tried and now you're too late. You ran out of time, out of time. Oh, na, 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 na.
Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, look, bruh, y'all got to get the tents of Judah, man. Deacon the Boots getting it in with Zamar and Too Late. All right, that thing been on repeat for me the whole album. The whole album good, especially my brother Yawan with them 2 joints on there, man. Look, Whiskey and Women. He got my son talking about some whiskey. You know what I'm saying? He don't even know what the hell whiskey look like, but he's singing it though. It resonate with whatever spirit is in that song. So, hey, let's get back to the show. Keep on supporting original royalty. All right, y'all. Shalom.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's the king. Let's go. Hey, 12. Hey, 12 up. Sit down.
Hey, shalom. Welcome back, Israel. Most High and Grace bless. Hey, tonight's show, second half of the show, it is Ishmael's sons, peaceable princes or patient plotters. And so the first half of the show, we basically went into Trump's tour of the Middle East, if you will. He went to Saudi Arabia. He went to Qatar. He also went to the United Arab Emirates, okay? And I believe he may be wrapping the trip, or either he's on his way home to the United States, and many deals were made. It was a royal purple carpet display for him, and they rolled out all the bells and whistles, if you will. So now, this is the ugly side of what's going on with the Arabs. Pull up the part where it says, scroll down a little bit. Go down. I'm sorry, go up. Trump's remark about Gaza. Okay, right there. Trump's remarks about Gaza. This is a perfect segue.
Trump's remarks about Gaza come on the same day the number of Palestinians killed in Israel attacks in the war surpassed 53,000 people.
That's what their media says. Read on.
A third of them children, according to Gaza's health ministry. Hundreds of Palestinians have been killed this week in intensified Israelite airstrikes, according to the hospitals and health officials contacted by NPR.
Watch this.
Trump described aerial images of the widespread destruction from Israelite airstrikes on Gaza. There's practically no building standing.
And that's amazing because he's saying that, and he'll just blame Biden, right? Biden's war, Biden's war, Biden's war. But he, as the American president, has the power to stop it. The first, he could have stopped it and shut it down. But because the Israelis are linked and integrated in the U.S. policy of government, they're not going to do that. They're all going to stand behind them. That's why every U.S. president goes over there to the Wailing Wall, puts his little yarmulke on, prays and kisses the wall. Every one of them. Even Obama went over and did that garbage. So they're linked one with Israel. Okay, read on.
It's not like you're trying to save something, he said.
Wow. And the reason why they're not trying to save anything is because they need that cleared. So when they breach through to the Mediterranean Sea with the canal that they're going to do, they need that cleared out. All right. Now, here's the part. This is the whole part we're going to get to. Read on.
Ceasefire talks stalled even while Trump and Qatar where talks are happening. Only a day before Trump arrived in the Middle East, Hamas freed U.S. Israelite hostage Eden Alexander, an Israelite soldier taken captive by Palestinian militants in the October 7, 2023 attack on Israel. The release raised hopes that the United States could push forward a ceasefire. Hamas said it agreed to release Alexander after rare direct talks with the Trump administration in Qatar ahead of the president's tour of the Gulf.
Now, so his whole plan is that if we take the displaced Palestinian Arabs and bring them to Qatar, that's his idea. Now, go to, get me number.
I honestly don't believe they got hostages. Honestly. They've been beating the hell out of them for the past 18 months. And you mean to tell me that they still have some sort of strategic leverage to have hostages and kidnap people? Nah. Y'all are making excuses. Just like they was bombing the hospitals talking about Hamas is in there.
Yep.
Like who? Well, how do you know? Well, they use hospitals and schools and nurseries and high schools for bases. Come on, man. They're just saying whatever so they can kill whoever. And Trump is allowing it. They have the ability to kill indiscriminately with no accountability.
Pull up number 6. This is the Arab people in the streets are going to be talking about what they think about Trump coming. And they show you just a little bit of Arab frustration, but they don't show you what I believe the majority of Arabs feel. Like Captain Matthew said, that they're Satan. They don't believe they're fork-tongued. They're twisted. Their words are not true. They're hollow. Play.
American and Saudi flags line the streets of Riyadh ahead of President Donald Trump's visit. The first stop of a Gulf tour that will also take him to Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. His visit is drawing several Wall Street and Silicon Valley titans to the capital, with a US-Saudi investment forum announced just days ago, set to take place Tuesday.
Also,
on the ground,
there were also American CEOs that were accompanying Trump and met him in these business halls. Elon Musk, who's over Doge, was one of those men that was there. I'm not sure if he was in every place, Trump, but he was in several of the countries. So this is all behind the scenes. Play on.
Reactions were mixed awaiting the president's arrival.
I'm not optimistic about this visit or its outcomes.
We expect significant political and economic agreements that will have a positive impact on Riyadh and the surrounding countries.
In many ways, the tour is a replay. In 2017, Trump made Saudi Arabia his first foreign trip during his inaugural term. He was welcomed.
Cap, to your point, that was the 2017 footage, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a red carpet.
Oh, right, because 2021, they changed it up. Interesting.
That was a red carpet when Trump went there. Then that's a green carpet. And he pulled up this time a purple carpet. Like you said, they all have it all has a meaning.
Symbolic. Play on.
Lavish ceremony and announcements of billions of dollars in investments. The energy-rich nations have all built personal ties with the president, but this tour comes as sweeping tariffs disrupt global trade. And some economists say that Trump might need his Gulf counterparts more than they need him. The region has also invested heavily in AI infrastructure.
He looks so funny. I'm sorry. Trump is funny as hell, man. He looks so out of place, man. But this guy, man. But and this is the thing, and I'll say this: Joe Biden didn't do any of this stuff. Biden didn't do any of this stuff. So this is why the bulk of Esau is loving this guy, because they really believe that they're going to keep Babylon living, and they're going to be all kind of economy's going to be great in the golden age of America. The Iron Dome is going to be the Golden Dome, all of that. Now, finish this up.
The goal of becoming global hubs for the technology. US Gulf relations have improved since Trump returned to office, and leaders in the Arab Gulf states are expected to be eyeing up the future of American semiconductor exports.
Go to number 7. It's a short video. I said, as I'm watching this, I'm like, why are they doing this? And it just maybe it's just what they do. But to me, what they're about to do, it just don't seem that Watch, play this. So they just showed a clip of Arab women with long hair shaking their hair side to side. Maybe that's what they do, but that's one of Trump's entryways into. I just wanted to show that because it was interesting. That was actually not the one I wanted. Get me number 8. Number 8. This is 8, and I'm sorry, 8. Then we're going to go to 10. I believe this is an article.
Israel kills over 100 in Gaza as Palestinians mark 77 years since the Nakba.
What is the date on this? Can you scroll? It should be either today or yesterday.
May 15th.
5
hours ago.
Okay, so they updated it today. Okay. Go ahead.
At least 115 Palestinians, mostly women and children, have been killed in a wave of Israeli attacks across the Gaza Strip.
Israeli attacks.
As indirect ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas continue.
So, when they say Palestinians, they're talking about Arabs. These Arabs, they killed all Arabs. Read on.
At least 61 people were killed overnight and early on Thursday in a barrage of attacks on the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis, according to the local health officials.
Can you, tech team, pull up a map of Khan Yunis? And I'm how much you want to bet? It's very, very close to Egypt. And we're going to look at the map and see, again, if you're clearing a path, there's going to be a breach that you're going to breach the sea. They're literally going to carve right into the Mediterranean Sea. I want to just see something. Interesting. That's real close to.
Ain't that where they want to build the?
That's that. Well, I'm making a prediction. I could be wrong, but they're doing a lot of the areas, like you see Rafah and Kerem Shalom. You see that? Well, if I went further north to say Gaza City, that's a lot longer to carve through all that land. But if I take that route, like I said, right near the border, it's interesting how they're dealing with all this right here. Now, they're messing with all Gaza because they want all the Arabs out, first and foremost. But again, y'all watch that. All these cities that are going through there, that's where they're going to carve through. These people are the devil. They're evil and they're deceptive. Okay, play.
In a Jabala in northern Gaza, an Israeli strike on Al-Twaba medical clinic killed at least 15 people and wounded several others, the health ministry said.
So again, like Captain Matt, they attacked a medical clinic because their rationale behind it is they have tunnels underneath the clinic. And so all they have to do is say that there's tunnels and they'll just bomb them. Play on.
Israel's army also attacked 3 hospitals in North and South Gaza. El Abda Hospital in Jabalan, the Indonesian hospital in Khan Yunis, and the European hospital, which Gaza's health ministry says is now out of service. Al Jazeera's Tariq Abu Azm, reporting from Deir el-Baal,
You better than me because I'll be worse than you.
described another bloody day in Gaza as Israel intensified its airstrikes on residential areas.
Bring it out, please.
I'm just waiting to see, was there like a infantry platoon that Hamas has, a battalion, something along those lines? Because everything that we reading is like they attacking hospitals and residential areas.
Yep.
Remember,
where's the army?
Remember, Hamas isn't a military structure. It's a government. It was an approved government by the United States years ago.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's how they're using that. Everybody is Hamas rhetoric because it was once a government. You don't know who's who. So now they're saying that they're a strategic military element, but they're not.
So, like Officer Micah, you were fairly responsibility of weaponry and personnel. Are there not rules of engagement for urban warfare?
Yes.
Okay. So if this, and we had a guy named, I forget the guy, he was on here. He said Norm something. We did a whole show on it, and the guy was showing that there's certain rules of war that in Israel's breaking all of them.
Cap, they're going against the Geneva Convention first and foremost. You have humanitarian rights that you have to abide by. If you have non-combatants, they have a right to get out. You can't put a label on a 3-year-old and say he's Hamas and bomb the hell out of him. It's illegal.
They're actually doing that, and you have had the International Court of the ICG. Okay, they have tried to put an arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu. They can't do anything. Israel and the United do not acknowledge that court, which is amazing, showing you that they have the power to do whatever they want. So here's my point. As all of this is going on, the Arabs in Saudi Arabia are not billionaires, they are trillionaires. So you got the same family structure. They're Arabs, and they have this similar cultures and all that. And that's going on at the same time as you, the guy that's allowing, the guy that represents, the guy that could stop the bombing. Remember, the bombing just took place yesterday and updated for today. Donald Trump's been in power since January. So how are the bombs still being delivered to Israel? Because he's allowing it. This same guy is in Qatar, United Arab Emirates, in Saudi Arabia, talking about, hey, let's open up Qatar to them. It's horrible what's going on. It's not even here anymore. It's a parking lot. We got to get them out of there. I'm telling you, these Arabs, man, they pissed. Even the ones that seem calm and passive, they raging. They're waiting. They're waiting for time. Okay?
That's it. That's rules of engagement.
Yeah. Read that. Very good. Read that.
Rules of engagement in urban warfare are designed to balance military necessity with the protection of civilians and minimize collateral damage.
Facts. Which means you can't take a 50 cal and shoot a baby with it.
Yep. You can't drop bombs indiscriminately on any target, on any building, in any area. It has to be known so that they minimize civilian casualties.
And medical centers are identifiable on maps, and they know what they're doing. And it's again, if I am, Esau rules the world. The United States is the most powerful nation, and they're an affiliate, a direct partner with the United States. So because of that fact, they are outside of any accountability. And if they say, well, we want to do this, they come up, they do smoke and mirrors, and their objective is to make a pathway through Western Gaza to be able to make because they're going to make billions, and they're going to make hundreds of billions of dollars if they control that waterway. They're going to make so much money. Everything's got to go through. And guess what? The U.S. will have control of the waterway, just like Panama Canal, and they will send U.S. troops over to guard it and all of that. And they will take all the revenue, and they can control how much they want to charge each country. All that's because in order for you to get the goods, you're either going to go all the way around to the bottom of Africa, all the way up to the Indian Ocean, or you're going to go right from the Mediterranean Sea, right down to the new canal. Boom, then you're around to the Indian Ocean. You're right there. It saves days and days and days of shipping transport time. All right, we can drop that. We're almost done. Get 10, and we're going to go to 8, and then we're going to. What we're showing is that Esau is so bold in his ability to cause you pain, cause you misery, and then sit there and go and knock on your door and expect to be welcomed in. It's just it's the level. It's amazing. Okay, play.
Israel kills at least 143 in one day as Gaza death toll passes 53,000.
I think play that video if we can.
Border will also gain independence.
The latest fighting has
So I have to make a connection here. These, I'm very sure, these are Palestinian Arab girls, right? So What about when Donald Trump, who represents death to Arabs, when he was walking through the lane, when all the Arab Saudi Arabian women were shaking it? You don't think the Arab women watch the news and look what's going on to their sisters in Palestine? I'm telling you, this is something. The Lord's got something that's going to be so incredible. We just gotta endure to the end, because this is going to be a magnificent theater of war that Most High allow to happen. Man, play on. They're live. Oh, okay. Read it then.
Medical sources tell Al Jazeera that at least 143 Palestinians
Wait, so this is going on right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
have been killed in a wave of Israeli attacks across the Gaza Strip since dawn on Thursday.
Now, today is Thursday, so since this morning.
Witnesses to an Israeli attack on a medical clinic in the Jabali refugees camp on Thursday says patients were torn apart on the upper floor of the Al-Taba clinic, and children were among the 13 killed. These attacks fell on the 77th anniversary of Nakba Day.
Here's the thing. They did that on purpose. When you go into Nakba, that was, if you pull up Nakba, right? And this happened in, was it 1948? I think 1948, because it would be 2028 would be 80 years. So,
1948.
So 48, when you look at the Nakba, they did almost the same thing, except they killed, I think they killed maybe more.
The Nakba is a concept that accompanied me from birth until I lived through it myself these past 2 years. I was born in a refugee in the Khan Yunis camp, known by the city's residents as the largest gathering of refugees expelled from their lands during the Nakba when Israel was founded in 1948.
Remember, we had a map, and I do not expect you to get it. But we had a map that showed the Palestinian population in 1917. Mm-hmm. It showed it in the 20s, and then it showed it in 48, and it shows each time period. And what you'll see is it went from about 98% Palestinian Arabs to today, there's about 2.3 total. No, it's 2.3 million in Gaza, and there's another couple 100,000 in the West Bank. To now, it went to almost all the land is controlled by the Israeli Jewish man. Don't worry about that. Read on.
Whenever someone asked me my name, it was always followed by, "Are you a refugee or a citizen?"
Wow. Can you play the Nakba or no?
Every year on May 15th, more than 12 million Palestinians around the world mark the Nakba. It means the catastrophe, the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians in 1948. Before the Nakba, Palestinians lived in 1,300 villages and cities in historic Palestine. In February 1947, the UK announced it would end its mandate over Palestine and hand.
We did multiple shows. It was a drawn-up meeting, which they comprised a one-page document called the Balfour Declaration. And that was shortly, I think the World War I was almost over, 1914, 1918. And they needed a place for Jewish people to settle on. They first thought about a place in Africa, and that didn't fly over. So then they thought about Palestine, okay? And many of even white people who was from that land, because there was a certain number of Jewish, they only called the land Palestine, even the ones that were there before 1948. So it just to show you that, and this is the thing that caught my attention, here you lived here as a child, and your parents raised you in Palestine, and then they come in, and now they say, are you a citizen of this land or a refugee? Mm-hmm. That's like Bishop Yahweh was saying, coming in your house, taking it over, and say, now go live in the bathroom. Are you part of the regular house, or are you one of the people in the bathroom? That's what they did to these Arabs, and they have not forgotten what the hell's going on. And just like the sons of the Saudi Arabians and the Yemenis and all these other Arab nations, they saw what happened. They know about the Nakba. They know about all these things. So just keep in mind that the Most High is going to raise up all these Arabs to come together.
And it shows how disrespectful they are because they killing them on their anniversary, showing you they don't even care about that.
Exactly. Bro, that's the point. And they did it to the point where they attacked another hospital. People go to medical centers to heal. They already have maybe they're suffering from having an amputee arm or whatever the case may be. They may have blood transfusions. They may be in a coma. They may be getting surgery. All these things happen, and these are Arabs getting healed. And then they bomb them on their anniversary. There's the map. That's beautiful. Look at that.
Evolution of Israel-Palestine borders from the Ottoman Empire to independence.
So, what is because that was the Ottoman Empire in red, and in Palestine, in 1918 to 46, that it was Palestine, and then Britain started to come in. You see the British flag at the bottom, and then in what does that say? 1947.
UN plane.
Right. And the Arab-Israeli war, showing you was always about Esau versus the Arabs over there. Always about that. We can read that in Ezekiel. All right. Then the 6-Day War, which is that was a big war in 1967. And then slowly but surely, when you look all to the right, the Oslo Accords, when you look there, now there is a small little section called Gaza, which again is right next to Egypt. And then you have scattered different places that are legally supposed to be the Palestinians, all on the West Bank, which again, I don't understand why I see why, because the East Bank, and then they would have it set up. But that's actually the west side of the river. It looks when you look at it, it looks like it should be the East Bank, but it's not. It's actually because the river starts up top. Technically, that should be east in the way they do it. Even though that the green, that is the west, that's west of the river. The same thing in New Orleans. If you come in New Orleans, Louisiana, it's very similar to the Mississippi River here. So that was it. Let's go back one more. We're getting ready to close out soon.
And what people don't understand, they said like some pretty much some dudes on hang gliders,
right,
with fans on the back. They noticed they can't even find all the bodies. I dare to say that these numbers are estimates because they're saying the rubble is piling up on top of bodies on top of bodies.
Yeah, they haven't cleaned up most of that.
Oh no, this body, I guarantee his body's under there already started to decompose and everything. But they say people on hang gliders just flew in there and attacked Israel.
And how were they the victim all the time? How they the victim all the time? They went up in there in 1948 and ethnically cleansed the entire place, and over time made people refugees, took them out of their homes that they had established, and then said, "Oh, well, we're the people of God, but also we're victims. But also we own everything. Right. But don't say that we own everything, or else you're anti-Semitic. Don't point out facts about us because that's hatred. Yeah. But we will kill you.
We'll bomb you
if we deem necessary, and we have the power to pass laws to make sure that you either go to jail or you get killed for speaking anything about us, because we're victims, but yet we still hold the power to kill."
Go to number 11 real quick. It's timestamp. Esau, here's the thing. There's a thing called what they call white guilt, which is when Caucasians, and here's the thing. It's not about white or black. Caucasians made it about white or black. We never called ourselves black. They called themselves white. They said, you're black. Okay, now, so when they say, so when I say white people, that's what I'm referring to. Caucasians, European Americans, right? They know how evil their government is, right? And you have prominent, we're about to see a video of some of the guys here are Ben and Jerry's owners, they multimillionaires. They're in a meeting with JFK, Robert RFK is doing a testimony on something he's being interviewed. And they begin to protest and object Gaza and also something about AIDS research or killing people with AIDS or something like that. And they're breaking out. This is Esau breaking out against his own government. Watch this.
Cohen shouted, Congress kills poor kids in Gaza by buying bombs and pays for it by kicking kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
So what he said is heavy, because the taxes and the money that the federal taxes that would go to Medicaid, Medicare, they're using that to fund the war in. And this is Esau saying that about his own government. Okay, and those are millionaires that got kicked out of there just now. Play on.
Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing room.
Ben and Jerry's leadership has previously been critical of the Israelite government.
Israeli.
That was a made for C-SPAN moment.
So just to show you that Esau is, it's a white guilt. They believe that what they've done, they have white guilt for what they did in slavery. They have a certain amount of white guilt. What they see the poor little blown up little brown Arabs, and it's just terrible. I can't believe it. But they directly benefit from all of the power that the U.S. wields and their freedoms that they have here. Okay. Now, last one is number 9. So this is Palestinian ambassador, and he's going to speak. He's being interviewed by Esau, and the Edomite just has no understanding. And listen to what he says. Short video.
Hamas is a product of the conflict, says Palestinian ambassador. Palestinian ambassador Hazam Zamlat told Sky News that Gaza has become home to the biggest cohort of child amputees during Israelis' conflict with Hamas.
And on the 77th anniversary of the Nakba, they bombed a medical center, killing children. Now watch, he's heated. Watch what he says. And we're going to close out here.
About Hamas. I just want to put to you, we had a Israeli government spokesman on the program 48 hours ago.
Look at the background. It's Gaza completely destroyed.
Long interview. I need to put some of the stuff to you. He says 1.8 million tons of aid went in before the blockade. It is only strengthening Hamas, who were taking much of it. He said they were using it or selling the aid. What would you say about that?
He's a war criminal. And to justify the starvation of people, Gaza has 2.3 million people. You know, Mark, half of them are children, 1.1 million children. They are depriving them of food, of medicine. They have killed 16,000 of our children. 18,000 are now orphaned. Tens of thousands are unaccompanied. Gaza has become the biggest home to the biggest cohort of children amputees. This is criminality at a new level.
Do you accept that it is in your interests, in the interests of Palestinians, to bring an end to Hamas in Gaza?
It is in our interest to bring an end to Israel's genocidal aggression in Gaza and the West Bank, and it is in our interest to bring an end to the occupation, colonization, and bring about finally
the freedom. I want to end here. That man right there is an Arab. Doesn't matter how light skinned he is, an Arab. And the Arabs in Saudi Arabia, when they watch that, when they see that, the Yemenis, the Iraqis, they are not opposed to what he's saying. They feel for their brother, because guess what? They are related. That is their family, and they know who they are. They know Ishmael. They understand who they are. So understand that these things. Watch the times are here, man. Watch what's going on in the news. Search out your news for yourself. The regular news is just stupid. But stick around, watch, and pray. And with that, brothers and sisters, we go to take it out to Law Back Attack. Stick around. Shalom.
Yeah, you can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. Yeah, you can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in.
Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel. Law Back Attack. I'm Captain Shem. Real quick, Reds and yellows, you have about 3 months, a little less than, actually, shoot, more like 2.5 months before the time comes when you are going to be held accountable. Being overweight does not sound right. It's not natural. Being obese is a medical disorder. Why is obesity dangerous? There's a doctor, his name is Dr. Kim Berry. He's going to tell us why. In particular, you got subcutaneous fat and you have visceral fat. Now watch what he says about visceral fat and why it's so dangerous. Play.
Visceral fat is the most dangerous fat that a person can have. Visceral fat can include fat streaking in your pancreas, which in my opinion is the most dangerous kind of fat in your body. Next is fatty streaking in your liver, second most dangerous kind of fat in your body. And then you can also have fat inside your abdominal cavity. So this would be underneath your abdominal muscles. And so fat that's underneath that muscle wall is much more dangerous. Part of the way you store fat is genetic, but also part of it is just too many carbs, too much fructose, too much sugar.
So understand that. This is why we talked about it last year. Visceral fat is killing you. And the way that you lose visceral fat is you've got to check your diet. You got to check your diet. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. Very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured. Next video, please.
Hello, I'm Carolyn Murray.
This is from about 12 years ago. It's a local news station. I forget where it's out of. And they're bringing another doctor to talk about the dangers of obesity. And what's going on right now is it's been almost 10 months, and a lot of you men in the body, you look the same as you did 10 months ago. You're not taking heed to the fact that you may not understand that perhaps it's something spiritual that God's trying to get through to you before judgment comes. Here you are, you got a whole movement saying, listen, brothers, we got to get in the green so we can all be healthy for our families, our nation, and camp. And here you are, you're doing nothing about it. You don't think that God can use men to speak through to help you? And I ain't just talking about me, because it's much bigger than me. Hell, it's bigger than Severus, which is that's big. Many men have already lost the weight. Some have lost over 100 pounds already. Some have already gone from the red to the green. They're doing it. So it's about us moving forward. And you are a liability when you're obese. You are a literal liability. You're a problem. And guess what? There's consequences coming. So go ahead and stick around and keep being a fat lard ass and being weak. Because all it takes is a little application. And you got all type of people all around you willing to help. Every school's got a someone to help with gearing you in the right direction and how to eat, right? And of course, we always tell everyone, we're not doctors. Make sure you talk to your personal physician and personal doctor to get permission to eat healthy and not become a fat slob anymore. Make sure you do that. Play this.
Obesity is more than a cosmetic problem. Many serious medical conditions have been linked to obesity, including type 2 diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke. Obesity is also linked to higher rates of certain types of cancer. Dr. Neil McDivitt of the Trident Medical Center joins us. And Dr. McDivitt, first of all, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Carolyn.
By the way, I just want to make a point. That is the normal size of what a black woman is supposed to look like. She is a very petite, and she's probably 55 years old. That's a petite black woman that most sisters would say, girl, you don't eat enough. Nah, you eat too much. That's why your arms are the size of damn Lyle Alzado. He was on the Raiders, a big linebacker. She is a petite little black woman. That's the way she's supposed to look. That's normal. That's why all our women should look something like that to a certain degree. Play on.
What we see on the outside when we recognize that someone is obese, but what is happening on the inside of that person's body?
Well, unfortunately, the same thing you're seeing on the outside is occurring on the inside. It's not just putting the weight on your hips or your thighs. It's putting on the organs inside your body as well. And the way I like to think of that is like your body being a small car with a trailer, and that weight you're putting on being that weight that you're dragging behind the car. The more weight you put on...
So think about what he's saying. So if I have a car and I have a trailer in the back of it and I have all this excess weight, okay, I could roll with it for a little while. But eventually, the purpose of the trailer, when you get to your destination, you offload. You get the trailer, now you're back to normal and you're driving normal. That's why the trucks that do a lot of towing, they have heavy-duty transmission, and they fail faster. So if you think that by being 80 pounds, 60 pounds, 100 pounds overweight, it's not going to catch up with you, that was never designed to be. It's an extra load that you were never supposed to carry. And this is why you get cancer. This is why you get diabetes. This is why you have a stroke, a heart attack. This is why you have all type of ailments in your health. And we're trying to come to you. Leadership is trying to come to you, and I'm mid-level leadership, by the way. I'm not at certain conversations, but I am someone that's trying to really reach out to y'all. And it's, guess what? Bishop Nathaniel and the governing body, the bishop, all of them have been teaching us the scriptures in Sirach along with the dietary laws for years and years and years. And we're not listening. That's the problem. So now the captains, we take in charge, and guess what we're doing? Under the direction, mercy has been applied 2 times a month. And some of you are taking it as weakness. And you're not doing what you're supposed to, and you're still a fat, obese slob. You look terrible. And you're failing your family, you're failing your wives, you're failing your children, and you're out of order. And what the doctor's saying is all these things is like a car with a trailer filled up with extra weight, and it's killing you slowly, slowly. Shame on you. You can't even see it. Play on. Almost done.
On a person's body when they are obese.
Sure. Going with that whole car analogy, first thing is obviously the hips, knees, feet, the places that are really kind of feeling the weight. But more importantly,
joint problems,
absolutely,
arthritis, those kinds of things.
Absolutely. But more importantly, it's the organs inside the body, mainly the pancreas. The pancreas is what's responsible for making insulin. So as you put the weight on, the pancreas is really working hard to keep up. And eventually it gets overwhelmed. Your sugars start to run higher in your blood, and now you're diabetic.
And so remember, sometimes brothers need to be, and sisters, but mainly the men we're talking about now, need to be, I don't want to say backed in the corner. That's a wrong terminology. There comes a point in every man's life where you got to make a decision. And if you're not willing to do that for yourself, it shows a sense of I don't give up about my nation. Because if you are a liability and you're, number one, you have high insurance, medical insurance, okay, people worry about you. And then we go to camp, you got big, fat, lard ass. Shout out to Big Red and Urion, Captain Severus and Captain Lard Rhino. Thank you for being obese year after year. We really appreciate y'all. But all that's going to stop. We're all going to get in shape. Green is just a variation of it. It's a symbol. We're going to get to the green so we all go forward as a people. And once we get there, we all get a certain amount of health. There's going to be no more making fun of a big fat guts, and all that's going to stop. And once we do that, we're going to be the subsection of Black America that did something about their health. And because of that fact that I believe will come to pass, we're going to show other because Black people are in a rough state. 80% of Black women are overweight and obese. Probably half the brothers, Black men, are overweight and obese. We need to show our people that the Bible is real and we're applying it. And these are the things that we're going to do to help win some of our people to this truth. It got to start with the men. It starts with the men first, and then once we get all the men, we're going to go with the sisters. Give me, Sirach, eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before you. There's a reason why he said this. This is really, really important. It's either 15, 16, or 17, something like that. Sirach 30 verse, maybe it's 19. 31, I'm sorry, 31.
The book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 16. Eat as it becometh a man.
So remember. This is the last scripture before we close out. Men control everything when it comes to nation time. So men have to control what they eat. Read on.
Eat as it becometh a man, those things which are set before thee.
Typically, there are 3 ways that men would eat. Number 1, our wives would prepare food for us. Number 2, it could be somebody else. Like you go to a get-together, someone else could be cooking. Or you go to a restaurant and you're ordering food. It could be a fast food restaurant, it could be a regular restaurant, sit-down restaurant. And the 3rd way is you prepare food for yourself. It's one of those 3 ways, right? And out of that, you have choices that you make. So once you realize that I'm a man and I control what I do, once you realize that and you get your mind made up, just like all of you have the mind, I'm not going to eat pork. Why? Your mind's made up. I'm not going to break God's law. Once you realize all the other sub-laws or the precepts that help us to understand not just what to eat, but how to eat in quantity and all these things, then we'll start to believe and apply. But a lot of you, I'm telling you, when the consequences come, that you're going to see a lot of brothers going to lead this truth. Watch. These fat lard asses that don't want to get this stuff together, they're here for a time. I'm telling you, they're here for a time. They're rebellious as hell. They don't want to listen. They're not following what God told them to do. And you have a medical disorder and you look horrible. You're failing your people. And this is the reason why I'm so doggone intense about this. Is because you can fix it. You all can fix it. We got brothers that lost 150 pounds. One brother, and shout out to the brother in Houston, San Antonio, one of them, Houston, I think. The brother dropped 107 pounds and counting. He was heavy red. Now I believe he's in green. And he did it in only 9.5 months because he applied, he believed that he could do it, and he just made progress. And now that's hope for the rest of you men. You're just choosing not to do it. And then your excuse is, oh, it's too hard. Listen, we got time for that. Good soldiers do hard things and endure hard times and hard things. So with that, I'm Captain Sherman. I'm going to keep saying the same thing every single week that the Most High allow me to speak about we're all going to get to the green. You don't have an option. Just like we wear camp garments, black boots. You know the drill. We ain't going to change it. A brother show up with green boots on. What the hell is you doing? Go put your black boots on. What the hell is wrong with you? Same thing. We roll to camp. Everybody going to be a certain level of relatively reasonable health standard, and that's what's going to happen. So if you believe, you better get on board. If not, get the hell out the way because consequences are coming. With that, Lord back attack. Shalom.
Yeah, you can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. Yeah, you can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in.
Hey, Shalom. Thank you for sticking around. We know it's almost 1 o'clock back home in New York and the East Coast. We thank you. Please share the feed. Watch what's going on with the Middle East, so-called Middle East. Watch what's going on in Gaza. It's still happening, and people are still dying, and the Lord is setting his theater up. Don't forget about CAP, the Booster Club. All right, the Booster Club. Donate. You could also text GIVE, give, to 646-982-3858. Again, text to 646-982-3858 and help us go on another mission. They're just getting back from a mission now, I believe. So all praise to the Most High. We appreciate everything that y'all do. We're almost at 30K on YouTube. Please help us out. Once we break that, I believe the next milestone is 440, and we are going to try to do big. Pray for us, y'all. Please send up prayers for us. New Orleans, we are in the process of getting our school up and running, and we could use your prayers and support. All right, so all praise to the Most High. Hopefully we get it up and running in the next couple of months. So we thank you. Keep supporting Precept upon Precept. All right. With that, we are your hosts. I'm Captain Shem.
Captain Matt.
Officer Micah.
Officer Thomas.
Well, with that, we say